Are you out here getting low limit approvals for business funding like 3K or 5K, or even flat out getting denied and don't know why? If that's you, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 mistakes that you're making as a business owner and what you need to do to correct them as quickly as possible. A lot of times business owners just go through the motions, walking into random banks and not knowing exactly what the underwriting criteria is and what these banks are looking for. So in this video, we're gonna kill all that noise and break everything down. So let's head over to my computer and get this thing jumping. All right, so we are at my computer, and like I said in the intro, you're probably watching this video because you're getting denied for business funding, and it's probably one of these 5 things. And number 5, just so you know, is one almost nobody talks about. So if you fix these, your approval chances will skyrocket. So let's go ahead and get into it. Mistake number 1, your business name is a red flag. This is a very common one. Banks automatically flag certain names with words like investments, holdings, real estate, credit repair, etc. So these terms scream high risk to lenders. So you want to know the fix to that? It's simple. Use a neutral and safe name like Greenstone Enterprises or North Star Group LLC. Your business name is your first impression, so definitely make it count. I cannot express how important this is. A lot of times people just, they got this idea that they need to put exactly what they do in their business name, and you just don't need to do that. It's not necessary at all. So mistake number 2 is missing or weak business structure. This is also a very common one. So let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit. Not having a EIN number, no business bank account, personal and business addresses don't match. So you think something like an EIN number is very simple and everybody would have that, but you'd be surprised. A lot of times people or business owners are applying as a sole prop, and there's 2 ways you can do that. You can have an EIN as a sole prop, or you can use your own personal SSN number. So you definitely don't want to be applying as a sole prop if possible. You want to have your legal entity set up to kind of separate you in the business. And then the personal business and addresses don't match. That is very, 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 very common. So even on your EIN letter, you want to make sure the addresses that's on the EIN letter along with the address that's on the Secretary of State from your articles of organization when you actually form the LLC, you want to make sure those things match. That's very important. So the fix to this is very simple. Register your business as an LLC or corporation, like I just mentioned. You want to set up a business phone number, email, and an address, and then also open a business checking account. Without structure, your business looks like a hobby to lenders, and you definitely don't want to look like that. You want to look like you're officially in business, having a footprint online, with the website and all the stuff like that. So you want to make sure you look legit when you're heading into these banks. And before I get to number 3, if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and smash that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you will be notified every time I drop a new video. So mistake number 3, high risk NAICS codes. This is very, very common as well. So NAICS codes are also known as NAICS codes, your industry classification code. That's basically what that is. Some codes automatically disqualify you from funding. Okay, so examples of high risk industries is going to be things like trucking, real estate investing, cannabis. A lot of times people don't realize this is a very common one now. People used to go to consulting to try to get out of some of these high risk industries, but guess what? Consulting is kind of a high risk industry, to be honest, at some banks. So the fix for this is to use a neutral code that is maybe similar to the industry. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say you're in real estate investing. Okay, so maybe going to something that's not high risk, but is still in real estate or has something to do with real estate, right? So if you're doing real estate investing, maybe having a NAICS code in like home decor or just something like that, something that's not high risk, but kind of still is pertaining to what it is that you do or something similar to the industry. Okay, this tiny detail can make or break your approval, so you definitely want to make sure you got this right. A lot of times people glance over this, but this is how these banks and institutions tie you to a specific industry, so you want to make sure you got this right. Now listen, you can join my free credit and business funding community on School, where I break down all of these mistakes, how to fix them. So if you're just getting started, you could kind of skip some of these hurdles and just get right to the bag without having to go through all these mistakes and things like that. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment. There'll be a link in there, and you can go ahead, hop in my free group where we're breaking a lot of these strategies down on a daily basis. So mistake number 4, having poor personal credit. This is obviously a very common mistake. So under 700 FICO score, all right, very common. High utilization, also very common. And I'm going to touch on that here in a second. Recent late payments or collections. So how do we fix this? You want to aim for 700 plus on the credit score. All right. And so when I say 700 credit score, I don't mean just, having a whole bunch of AUs on your credit profile and, the number just says 700, but it's just inflated, right? You want to have a healthy credit profile. So that means having a couple of primary. So when I say primary, that means your accounts. You want to have a couple primary accounts like credit cards, maybe some installment loans, auto loans, etc. Things like that. Real accounts, not authorized users, or a lot of these credit builders accounts, right? You want to have real primary accounts to look like you're actually utilizing your credit and showing these banks that you have the ability to repay on a good basis. Okay. Secondly, you want to be able to pay down balances to under 10% utilization. A lot of times people think that they're kind of stuck on personal credit. So they think, oh, okay, well, my utilization is under 30%, so I'm good. Or my utilization is under 20%, I'm good. No, for business funding, it needs to be at or under 10% to maximize your approvals. Okay. And that's 10% for your total credit profile. So that's not just, I got all my cards are under 10% each individually. We're talking about your total credit profile under 10% utilization. So that's very important. A lot of times people glance over that. So my recommendation also is to use My FICO or Experian to monitor your progress. And the reason why I suggest these two is because they actually give you your FICO score. All right. A lot of these credit monitoring sites like Credit Sesame or Smart Credit or Credit Karma, all of them, they all use VantageScore. Okay. And the problem with that is nobody pulls VantageScore for the most part. Most banks, they're pulling FICO 8, FICO 9, FICO 10. So you have to be able to be looking at what the banks are going to be pulling. All right. So that's why I recommend My FICO and Experian, because they're going to give you your FICO scores. All right. So you can look at what the banks are actually going to pull. And yes, personal credit still matters in business. So fix it fast. All right. Don't think you can just slide through and have bad personal credit and go ahead and get business funding. Trust me. A lot of these people run around here saying no EIN only. That stuff is net 30s for the most part, or you got to have revenue, right? Serious revenue to be able to get in. A lot of times it's, weekly repayments. Is kind of MCA style. So trust me, guys, if you want real business funding, you're going to need to have good personal credit. Trust me on that. And mistake number 5, this is the big one. All right. Applying without a strategy. This is the most common one, in my opinion. You can have all the other 4 things that I just mentioned correct. You can have great personal credit, optimized credit profile, business structure correctly, kind of all these things that I'm talking about. You could have that, but if you don't have this, you'll still not get the results that you're looking for. Okay. And what does that mean when I say applying without a strategy? It means randomly applying at multiple banks or credit unions and having no understanding of each bank's underwriting rules. All right. So a lot of times people just be enrolled in the YouTube University, kind of like what you're doing right now. And you're just watching a whole bunch of different people and you just, okay, I'm going to apply here, I'm going to apply there. I heard this person had a 745 and they got this, so I got that. Let me go apply there. Listen, guys, it's not that cut and dry. Just because somebody else had a 745 and they got a 40K approval or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to get one. Okay, you don't know the specifics of their data points in their business, the makeup of their company. It's a whole bunch of things that go into approvals. Okay, so you have to build a strategy that's going to work for your business, your region. It's very important that you do that. Okay, so like I said, the fix for this is build a custom funding plan based on, all right, credit profile, your business structure, and your industry and goals. Random apps equal random results. Strategy is everything. I'm telling you guys, you got to have a strategy to be able to do this, right? Not just, and when I say strategy, I don't mean just, hey, I watched a couple YouTube videos. I'm going to go with these 3 banks because I think that might work for me. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really digging into the nitty gritty of your personal credit, your area of the country, your business type, what you're using the business funding for. All these things you have to really plan out to really kind of see, okay, what banks are going to work for me, what type of business funding and financial products are going to work for me as well. Again, guys, you got to really plan this stuff out if you want to get the results that you're looking for. A lot of times business owners are looking for, 100K or 200K or, whatever the number is, and you're putting in 20K worth of effort, right, to try to get this done. So it's not going to work if you don't put in the amount of time and effort it takes to be able to build a proper funding strategy for your business. So listen, if you're watching this video right now and you want to try to avoid these mistakes, we can see if we can build you a custom funding strategy for you in my mentorship program, where you'll get access to a dialed custom strategy built out for your business only, and access to my banking contacts, and also guarantee results in 30 days or less. Okay, so again, like I said, if you're tired of being in a YouTube university, watching all these videos, or you've been guessing for a long time, or you've even been trying to apply on your own and it's not going the way you thought it was going to go, and you just want to skip all the nonsense, skip all the BS, and just get some dedicated guidance on exactly how to do this the right way the first time and be done, or one time for a lot of people because you've already tried it yourself, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment below. You'll be able to go ahead, fill out a couple details, and then book a time to speak with either me and one of my team members. On that call, we'll go ahead and sit down with you, analyze your business, see if it makes sense for you to join our mentorship program, where again, we build you a custom funding strategy, give you access to my banking contacts so you don't even have to worry about dealing with a lot of these branches in a lot of situations, and again, get guaranteed results in 30 days or less. All right, so if that's you, you can click the link in the pinned comment, and I will look forward to seeing you on that call. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and smash that like button if you enjoyed today's content. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you will be notified every time I drop a new video. And if you want to learn how I got over 500K in business funding by leveraging my 3-step Omni growth strategy, go ahead and click the video that you see on the screen right now. It's going to take you over to that video where I break down my 3-step strategy and exactly how I got over 500K in funding, so you can literally just steal it from me in this video. So go ahead and click that video, and I'll see you in that one.